apparemment qu'il est vraiment sympa. Il y a ce clip-là. Mais vraiment, je crois qu'il est sympa. Mais vraiment, c'était pas
It was just a little mistake. He didn't make it on purpose, you know.
It wasn't. I always feel like I should defend Morgan. Maybe it's just because he's affected me and I'm just as deluded as he is. Like I've gone crazy myself. But
Okay, that's very reassuring what you're doing. What you're saying.
But he was a lovely guy. He really was. Yeah. He was a loving person. He
loved his mother very much.
He loved his mother a lot.
Yeah.
No, it was a love story. I mean, obviously it was a tragic one, and it didn't end up so well for her. But no, even in this, maybe maybe I'm just like deluded and in my own world about all of this. But even in this scene, I feel like there is an underlying humor. Because there's something, she's there encouraging him to go and do what he does, but she's not really there. I think the whole last season, not to spoil it for those who haven't necessarily seen it, but the idea of someone living alone in a house with someone who is in reality dead, but he thinks is still alive, is a very funny premise. Anyway, I feel like, in any case, the darkness of the show, for those of us filming it, was always offset by this sense of humour, by the underlying silliness to some of the situations. And I think Vera was so wonderful at bringing that fun and lightness and happiness into the show as well, so that it didn't end up being too gloomy and sort of gloomy for the sake of being gloomy, or with no sense of lightness. Even the song choice, I think, in that last scene that we just saw, sort of offsets the violence in some way.
In some way. Because this scene is from the episode 6 from the season 5, if I'm not mistaken. So our best model, you would have recognized that was best model. So this particular episode reinterpret the famous scene of the shower from Psycho, the movie by Alfred Hitchcock, of course, which Norman Bates is based on, actually. And I'm sure you subverted it. I'm sorry. How to pronounce actually? Subverted it. So, how is it to confront yourself to this cinematic monument? Because Psychose is a very huge movie, very well known, very studied. Everybody knows Psychose, or even maybe you don't have seen it, but you know it. So how was it to confront yourself to that?
Yeah, I mean the director that we had for that episode, Phil Abraham, he was wonderful at I guess reflecting that infamous sort of famous shower scene from Psycho, but also giving it its own twist. And I feel like the writers, Kerry Aaron and Carlton, who was here l'année dernière, je crois, Carlton Cuse, qui était l'un des scénaristes de Bête Modèle. Je crois qu'il était ici l'année dernière, peut-être pas. Oui, super, merci. I'm not just entirely crazy. Je suis pas fou.
Not yet, but you just said Bête Modèle was a comedy song.
But yeah, so the two of them, I think, were really smart in not, as you say, subverting what had come before and making sure that Bates Motel was very much in that mythology of Psycho, but ultimately became its own thing. But that, the series, I think, in general, and it's easier to say this, and given that it's finished and we did 5 seasons of it, is definitely the greatest experience that I've had on working on something. And I'm sure The Good Doctor in time will also, feel the same way. But those 5 years compared to 2 years is, there's so much so much I'm proud of, and so many great friends that you make over the course of that amount of time.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about that as well. But in this particular episode, there is Rihanna.
Yes.
She's nice.
She was lovely. Yeah, she was really nice. We had to do all of her. She had 2 episodes. We had to do everything within a week because she has such a busy schedule, obviously. But yeah, she came to Vancouver and was very down to earth and lovely, and brought again like her own twist on Marion, that was such a famous character.
So Norman Bates is such an iconic character. We said that, and he was played beautifully by Anthony Perkins in the Alfred Hitchcock movie. And during 5 seasons, you had to give your own version of him. Sorry. Were you inspired by the interpretation of Anthony Perkins, or on the contrary, were you stepped away from it because you didn't want to be too influenced by it?
No, I mean, I feel like, obviously I'd seen Psycho before the show came around, but I tried to rewatch it before every season in order to remind myself of where ultimately Norman was going to end up, even if it wasn't exactly the same circumstances. I feel like the character was similar to Anthony Perkins' brilliant performance, and so I feel like it was never an attempt to mimic exactly what he had done, but certainly be inspired by it.
And we mainly saw you in movies as this nice guy. You're a nice guy, and here, not really. I would say, not totally. How did you react when you were offered this role? Was it a way for you to break your image, or to change something, to learn something? How did you react to that?
I feel like it was. You always want to play different characters, and so it was certainly something that I had never done before. And I always thought it was a fun opportunity if it had come along, and obviously it did with Bates Motel, to sort of flip the things that I've been more known for as a kid, which were usually those more, innocent, lovable characters, and play someone like Norman, who people would think wasn't very nice, and try and make him likable too. I guess that was, try and find the humanity in Norman.
And so how did you approach that role of a psychopath in the making, I would say, because it's not always like that in the series. It doesn't start that way. Because it's a role you are going to play for several years, so I think it will grow during the course of the 5 seasons. So how do you approach that kind of, because you would say it's a bit disturbed character?
Yeah, I mean, I felt like I was able to leave it on set mostly. It didn't really come home with me too much. I mean, maybe the last couple of seasons where things became a bit more intense, of course, it does become more consuming. But in a funny way, it was
funny.
It was kind of cathartic to get to do scenes like that scene. Not that acting should be used as a form of therapy, but the idea of getting out all your negativity on set, in the same way that when in day-to-day life you cry, or you have an argument with someone, or you get angry over something, you kind of feel a little bit better afterwards. So I guess that was my way of just getting through, get through anything bad in life you could just throw into the show, and then the rest of the time you'd just be very happy. So yes.
Just studying something on the show and then feeling better.
Yeah, and then you didn't need to stab someone in real life, exactly.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah, as we know now, Bates Motel is really a big comedy, so a very big comedy show. But you were talking earlier about Vera Farmiga, who is your mother in the series, and you are very close. How was it to work with Vera?
Yeah, she's amazing. I mean, I truly can't say enough wonderful things about her, both as a person. I'm godfather to her son. They became my family. That all of her family moved out to Vancouver for the time of shooting, and they kind of became my family out there. And I'd go for sleepovers on the weekend with the 4 of them, and they certainly looked after me in that way. And as an actress, I feel like I've just learned so much from her, and being challenged by her every single day. And I think one of the things among many that she is so good at is just being so natural and easy and fluid, and having done all of the preparation possible, but at the same time being there on the day and just having the confidence to try so many different things and to somehow be able to be incredibly big and grand and larger than life in her character as Norma, but not being over the top or not being unbelievable. And no, she's incredible.
Sorry. And so, for you, because it was your first, not really your first series, you've been into series